Oh, hello. Hello. Okay, there we go. There we go. Cool. I have audio. Welcome. Welcome everybody to the stream. Sorry, I'm just kind of getting acclimated here. I kind of rushed to get the stream up and everything, and I have not had much much time here. Hello, Raven Dragon. Hello, Servalos. Hello, Spencer's Adventure. And Physics Human. Can you come on stream? Like a Discord call kind of thing? Because I don't know about that. I have seen content creators have some pretty bad experiences with that in the past. And I don't really have like people to like vet that kind of thing right now. Hi, Jackie. Hi, Jeffrey. Hi, Montavi. Oh, come on. I mean, like, I don't know what you want to talk about. I don't know anything about you. Like, let me look at your channel activity. The first time that you've ever chatted with my stream is asking if you can come on stream. So, like, why would I, like, who even are you? Like, I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but like, I don't understand how you think that that's like an unreasonable thing for me to be like, I don't know about that. Like, random stranger online who could say literally anything. Like, you could say something absolutely horribly inappropriate that would like get my whole stream demonetized, or you could, you know, like, I don't know who you are. You could be a hate troll. Like, you could just like jump on and start saying a bunch of slurs, and then that would just kind of like be really bad for the whole stream, you know? So like, no. Maybe like calling Trump a tyrant, he is. Yeah, I agree. I don't know what you, I mean, you're on the stream right now. You're literally chatting. If you have something you want to say, like, just say it in the chat. You know, yeah, Freddy's here. Him and his gross butt are here. Him and his stinky butt are here. He is he's in the middle of an adjustment period. I swapped him to a new food because, for those of you who might not be aware, Freddy has some digestive issues, and he likes to, he just has, well, doesn't like to, he hates it actually, but he has accidents pretty frequently, and they are, what's happening, it's been oh, Freddy, dude, you gotta be careful, Fred, you can't walk behind me, I don't trust your butt right now. What's happening, it's been 2 minutes. Someone asked if they could come on my stream. They said, hello, can I come on stream? Their name is Physics Human. And I said no. And then they were like, oh, what? That's so unreasonable. And it's like, literally the first thing they've ever said in my chat is, can I come on your stream? Like, what? Like, no. I don't know who you are. I know nothing about you. This chat is open to like literally anyone who wants to like pop in. So like, no, question mark. Here, I'm gonna share out the stream link real quick to like Blue Sky or something. So I just got back from a festival really recently, like a couple days ago, and it went really well. I had a great time, a really great time, and it was very, very good for my mental health and just nice to unplug for a couple days or whatever. So I am back from that. I'm still trying to get acclimated. That's why I didn't stream yesterday. I was gonna stream yesterday, but I was not able to. I was not able to. Sorry, I'm a little confused about something here. Okay, let me just delete one video real quick. I'm trying to find the live stream. The YouTube, like, the YouTube mobile app for YouTube Studio kind of sucks, like, badly. Like it's really really bad. So that's unfortunate. But yeah, so what we're gonna be talking about, like some stuff today about like how, just like this is basically gonna be a check-in stream. Like I want to check in with all of you and discuss some things that may sound a little bit basic, but I promise, there is a deeper intention behind all that. So just give me 1 second. Oh, Marcy, thank you. I appreciate that. I have streamer mode on, so I don't see the Discord notification pop up, but that was very helpful. Give me 1 second. I joined a Discord recently, and every time I open mobile Discord, it's like, hey, do you want to accept the invite for this Discord that you've accepted the invite for like 17,000 times? And I'm like, I guess let's do it again. Let's go again. So that's kind of annoying, honestly. Sorry, give me a second. So I got the link. This is why having a social media manager is nice, because then you don't have to be like posting all this garbage on your social media. Sorry, 1 second. Freddy just pooped, so that's gonna be really stinky. He took a big old dump in that litter box. Sorry. Let me read chat. By the way, welcome Lauren Alexander, Zennies, Dear Revenant, Ace Plays MC. Let's see, Marcy, Matt, Chunky Shrapnel. You get home and you find a stream. That's cool. Yeah, exactly. I've been I've been going to every protest I hear about and been presenting more queer, if anything. That's great. That's all great. That's definitely great. Sorry, just 1 second. I'm almost done here. Jesus, Fred. You have a gross butt. I love him, but he got stinky butt. Life is lifing, you gotta go. Well, definitely go do life. Agnes, hello. Hope you have a great stream. You're good. Did I see the good news that Colorado signed into law for trans people and dead naming? I haven't, honestly, like I've been disconnected from news for like 4 or 5 days, so I'm a little bit behind on what's going on here. So I did not see what is that? What is that thing? The cat. The cat is cute. He is cute. He's just stinky, but he's a cute boy. I need to fill up his water fountain back there. He's got that water fountain's almost empty. It's like making a horrible noise. It's making me like really anxious. I don't know if that happens to anyone else, but like the sound the fountain makes when it's almost empty, like the gurgling, drives me crazy. Cats always come to get pets and then show the wrong end. For real. Apparently, Christy Nome cried because she was exposed as clueless on many aspects of law. That's hilarious. I would be interested to know more about this. Fred, are you wiping your paws on that towel over there? Why are you doing that? That's weird. Oh my god, his butt smells terrible. Dude. You stinky. Did you get any on you? Did you get some on you? Is that why you're so stinky? Oh my gosh. Whew. Jesus. Good evening, family. My name is Liam and my pronouns are he, him, his. Oh, well, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Howdy, your full name is so classy. Thank you. Yeah, most people don't know how to say it. Just to be clear, it's Leah Passanetti. And that's not an official Italian pronunciation. but that's how my family pronounces it, probably because it's like an Americanized, you know, pronunciation of an Italian name. But I've had people call me Leah, and I've had people, my last name people get wrong literally 100% of the time. Like first name I don't really care about. I don't really care, just to be clear. Like I don't really care. But I just think it's funny because a lot of people say their names all the time, like Luke Beasley or Brian Tyler Cohen. Like they say their names like a lot of the time, and that's kind of smart so that people like hear it and know how it's pronounced, like know how to say it. Isn't that the puppy killer? Sorry, I get all these ditzy Republican broads confused. Yes, Kristi Noem is the one who took a puppy into a gravel pit and put some lead between the eyes because it was like too happy and too playful. That's like literally the reason she gave. Like the dog wasn't a good work dog, so she just like took it to the gravel pit and you know, did some pretty bad stuff if you're a dog lover. So that's cool. That's cool. And you know, like isn't Kristi Noem like she's one of those people leading like the anti-trans stuff? Like I don't know, if you look into her for like 5 seconds, you realize she's a psychopath. And like I feel like it just makes all of her positions look bad. Not gonna lie, I thought it was Leia like in Star Wars. I've heard a lot of people say that. And it honestly, you can pronounce it both ways, but like let me look it up real quick because Fred, you're trying to get behind me and you're not. So there's two different like Leah is like I think it's like an English. One of them is like an English pronunciation and one is like a Hebrew pronunciation. Where is it? Okay. Leah seems to be the most common pronunciation. Leia is the less common one. It's technically the original Hebrew. And yeah. So Leah is English and Leia is Hebrew. Yeah, it's like European. So like I just went with one of those. I didn't, it's not like I'm like super attached to it or anything. I just like decided to pick one for consistency's sake. You hate animal abusers? Me too. Me too. I care a lot about animals. Like they're like pure and they're like pure creatures, you know? Like humans are tainted with this like greed and desire and all this other shit, and like animals are just like these pure, innocent, beautiful creatures just living by the natural order. And like the natural order is brutal as hell sometimes, like don't get me wrong, but like humans are like the societal mind can make for like a very corrupting force to the to the natural order or whatever. Are you invisible? No, you're not invisible, Liam. I mean, everyone just sort of says what they want to say in the chat. I try to read as much of it and respond to as much of it as I can, but you know, it's like you're fine. Pam Bondi really pisses me off too. I saw that message. I hate Pam Bondi. She sucks. I mean, like Trump's entire administration are like literally like it's like you know those movies where it's like the A-Team or whatever. It's like the squad of the most competent whatever blah 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 blah. Trump's administration is like the inverted version of that, like the negative, like the most incompetent corrupt people to have ever existed are like officially like the most powerful. Fred, what are you doing that for? He's being a weird goobo, a weird gooby. A goofy goober. I was at a recent protest in Cambridge, and there were 5 transphobes and like 150 of us. Yeah, like that's the thing that like I try to reinforce this a lot when I'm talking to my audience. It's that like online it may seem like there are a shit ton of transphobes, but like let's be real, most people have no opinion or are just like their opinion is negative out of ignorance. Like they just like have never met a trans person, so they sort of just inadvertently or sort of like unintentionally believe a bunch of like transphobic bullshit. And let's be honest, like the people that are like actually hateful are a minority, and they're overrepresented. They're overrepresented. Jesus, I can't talk. They're overrepresented in like in politics. Like there are a lot of bigoted politicians, but those politicians are bigoted because they're towing the party line. I mean, some of them are principally bigoted, but a lot of them are just like it's like out of convenience, or it's what the current party narrative is. I think it feels like there's this tremendous force against us, and that there's like a massive army of people that hate us, but it's like it's not it's not that like for I can see it represented in my audience, because my audience, yeah, there are a lot of trans people, but I do actually have a lot of people that watch me that are not trans, that are like cis or allies or parents of a trans person or like a partner of a trans person. Like I know that there are a lot of people like that in my audience. And one thing that I notice is that like out of like, I don't know, out of 300 comments, I'll have like 3 comments from a transphobe, right? Or like 3 transphobes commenting. And like what you'll see is that these people who are like, there are a couple, I noticed their usernames now, because there are these transphobes that pop into my comments, and they're very consistent and very active. Like they'll reply to like 10 different people and make like 5 different individual comments, and they'll do all this stuff in an attempt to get my attention or to like bring us down or make us feel bad or try to start like a comment war or whatever. And that makes it seem like there's more of them, or makes it seem like they are a bigger portion of the sample size, I guess, than they are. Like turf bars and stuff like that are probably one of the dumbest things I've ever heard of in my life, because like what are there, like 10 turfs ever? Like they're like 10 actual turfs, and like obviously there are more than that, but like spread out throughout the population, it's an incredibly small percentage of the total population, far from the majority. And yeah, that's yeah. Call them the Z team. Yeah, that's a very good name for the Trump administration. They are the antithesis of like the A team, like the inverted version of that. Hello there, Naomi. Welcome. Hope I said that right. They're just engagement. Let's go. Yeah, they are. And honestly, like I've thought about banning a couple of them just because they leave like 100 comments on one video, and then they're like in replies. Like it's just like I would almost be doing them a favor, because like obviously their life is so sad and pathetic that like they have like, to them it's an important thing to like be online attacking trans people. Like that's how they're spending their free time. Either that or they're a bot. And either way, it's like that's just, I don't know. So yeah, by the way, I'm gonna probably work on my nails a little bit here, because I did my nails at the festival that I was at because I needed to keep them protected. And I actually they held up pretty well, but today a few of them chipped, and just some bad stuff. So like, you know, I have blue on this hand and purple on this hand, and I'm going to be doing purple and pink. I'm not sure what I'm going to do necessarily, but I have purple and pink with me right now. And so I'll probably do a combination of those two colors. How was the festival? The festival was amazing. And that's part of what I want to talk about tonight. This became a get ready with me. Hell yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, like, honestly, I have very limited time. Oh yeah. Oh shoot, I just dropped the thing. Hold on. Let me grab the link tree real quick before I forget. Okay. So I just spammed like a link tree in the chat, and if you do that, that's got all of my socials in it. It's got my Discord. It's got everything. So if you want to join the Discord, feel free to do that. We have like a pretty large, friendly Discord full of cool people, and we're here. So if you want to join, feel free to do that. You can check out my other socials. I really mostly post on YouTube, but I have recently started posting. You may notice that I'm wearing this thing on me, and it's called an oxbow or a puppy hammer, or a crow hammer, depending on what name you want to use for it. And it's a part of a thing I do called flow arts, and I've talked about it on stream before. It's like my artistic passion project, and my autistic passion project. Honestly, it's an autistic passion project, and I've started sharing videos of it on Instagram. So like, if you want to see something that I work on like in my private life outside of activism and like what I do outside of that, it's this thing called flow arts. So you can see more about that on my Instagram. And honestly, it would mean a lot. Not, I don't know how to say this with making it sound weird, but like, it would be cool to bring more awareness to flow arts because it's a very niche thing. It's like a circus sideshow performance act thing. And like fire spinning, if you've seen people like doing fire performance, like fire breathing or fire eating or like poi or any of that stuff on fire, then like the yeah, that's most likely a flow artist or a fire spinner of some kind. Not all fire spinners identify as flow artists, but almost all flow artists identify as fire spinners. Some flow artists don't spin fire, so that's like a thing too. You know, it's like it can really depend. And there's also like LEDs, so it's not all fire performance. Like there's also LEDs. Kira says, "Hi chat, meeting went well today." Hello, welcome to the stream. I'm glad the meeting went well. I'm so sorry I couldn't be there. I didn't get home from running errands until like a little after 8. And then I went outside with my puppy hammer while there was still a light outside. And yeah, I just did not have a lot of time today as much as I thought I would. I was just moving so slow and all that, but I really wish I could have come to the meeting. For those of you who don't know, like, I've been involved with the Trans Unity Coalition, which is like a nonprofit that works out in here in Ohio and also in Michigan. They primarily work out in Michigan, but they started an Ohio chapter recently, like earlier this year. And I've been involved with them. I've been volunteering with them. And honestly, like, I am wanting to give more time to that. Like, that's something that I really want to do more of. And I gotta be real with all of you. As a content creator, if my job were to become content creation, I feel like it would give me more time to like go out and do this kind of activism, because like part of the reason why it's such a struggle for me right now is it's sort of like you need to be ready or available to act with very short notice, with just like the way things work and government stuff. Like they don't give you a lot of notice for things, and there's just like all sorts of reasons why I might need to be available kind of whenever. And working like a job, like a 40-hour a week job, kind of makes that really tough. As well as like having hobbies and stuff. So it kind of makes me want to be more engaged with YouTube so that I can get to the point where I can do more actual activism. Akami peeks into wave. I hope I said your name right, but welcome. So Physics Human says, I was walking my dogs and I saw someone with a jacket with a big baggy shirt and hat, something ICE agents have worn. Plus a car with guardrails was in my neighborhood, and someone with a red hat and t-shirt with a dude was nearby, and then I chose to sit on table and listen. Live on the East Coast. I mean, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he ran into like an ICE agent or something. That wouldn't surprise me, really, if I'm being honest with you. You know, stay safe out there. If your skin tone is anything less than like white passing, just be really careful. If you have an accent, be really careful. Just like there's a lot of things you need to be careful about, because it could bring undue attention to yourself, and then yeah. I mean, I hate to be this way, but like if you're like a white trans girl, ICE is not looking for you. And I'm not saying that eventually they won't or whatever, but like again, it's part of, yeah, and watching your ass is fine. Like I like, we as trans people have to be a little bit on edge sort of in general, just as a safety issue. Like, you know, like I try to make sure, like I have PTSD, so I'm always hyper vigilant, like in public, but like of course, like if you're openly trans, you know, just like I recommend knowing self-defense, being aware of your surroundings, understand that it's more about escaping a situation and less about causing a situation or reacting to a situation, and like many other things. There's a lot to self-defense and stuff. I don't really remember what I was talking about before that. They want us constantly grinding so that we are too tired to be community minded. Well, it's part of that, but it's also like what's really weird about it. So like there was like committee hearings for this budget bill in Ohio that I made a video about. Like essentially there's a budget bill in Ohio that has like anti-trans provisions in it. So I've been working with Trans Unity Coalition to try to fight this budget bill, the provisions at least. I mean, you know, like the budget bill in general isn't a bad thing, but like there are some pretty bad provisions in there related to our community, and some of it's not even related to like budgetary concerns, so it's like it's kind of like a cruel joke sort of thing. But we were trying to go give testimony in committee hearings, because you know you should be able to speak your mind. If they're going to do this kind of thing, you should have the opportunity to like look the people in the face and be like, this is what you're doing. And they come out with the committee schedule for the next week on Friday. So on Friday, you find out what the committee hearing for Monday is. And on Friday, you find out what the committee hearing for Tuesday is. And on top of that, you have to submit your testimony online. If you don't submit your testimony, then you can't, you're not allowed to give it. And you have to submit it within 24 hours, like in advance of the thing. So it's just really like they have set up the system to make it like as difficult as possible for the average working person to like if you work a normal job and you find out on Monday that you have the opportunity to give testimony, or sorry, if you find out on Friday that you have the opportunity to give testimony on Monday, like you're probably not gonna have enough time, you know, like you're not even gonna have enough time to write it, let alone like ask off for work or whatever. Like it's just like they really go out of their way. And so if I were able to be sort of like available for doing this kind of stuff, this kind of volunteer work or whatever, or work with a nonprofit like sort of full time, or mostly, or like with more time than I currently have, that would be super sick. That would be super duper sick. Yeah, so that's part of what I would like to say about living through these times. Is that we need people to get involved and people to get organized. Like I can say specifically here in Ohio, I can say without a shadow of doubt that we need more help. Like Trans Unity Coalition, if we could get more volunteers, that would be incredible. Right now it's like what there's like 7 or 8 people that are involved with volunteer work for the Trans Unity Coalition for Ohio. And we need more people. Like we need more people because like redundancy helps too, because like it's volunteer work. So if someone has to like take time off or someone's not available, someone else might be able to fill that gap. And it just makes it a lot more of it kind of reinforces it makes it so that there's not like a chain, not as much of a chance of failure in the chain of custody or chain of command or whatever. Best advice is to try to walk with someone or in a group with phones on speed dial to a defender. Yeah, like I think knowing self-defense is important, but like just understanding deterrence, like having people with you, blah 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 blah, all this stuff. Thank you for for mentioning them. Did I join via Instagram? So if you look at my post history on my channel, like my community section, there should be a post where I was like trying to do a call to action to get people involved for giving testimony on this budget bill stuff. And I'm pretty sure I included the email for the Trans Unity Coalition. There's also like, I made an entire video about the Ohio budget bill. And in that I go into immense detail about like how to get involved with the Trans Unity Coalition. There's like links in the description of the video and stuff like that. And if you still don't know how to get involved with them or get in whatever, then just like join my Discord and we'll get you hooked up. Because like Trans Unity Coalition has a Discord too. So if you're on Discord, you join my Discord, I can invite you to their Discord. Yeah. Kira says, yeah, and I met Leah through Trans Unity Coalition, and I run a DSA trans right group, and we were gonna have Leah come out to our meeting. But alas, yes, I again, I apologize for that. I just like I got back from the festival and I have very limited time before work starts up. And yeah. Columbus or Cleveland, you're amazing. Looking for a job. Oh, well, thank you. I really appreciate that, Quinn. I don't really want to say this hasn't been a thing for me. I've been like super vague about what city I live in Ohio. Like I'm super open that I live in Ohio, but I've been very vague about the city primarily because of doxing. It just makes it that much easier for someone hateful to find me. And that makes me nervous. Like I've heard horror stories, from people about swatting, and especially because like we're like, there's a lot of power in the hands of some terrible people right now. It just feels dangerous for some reason. And maybe it's not that maybe it's not that much different to say what city I'm from, but I don't know. Try to avoid what city I'm in. But yes, I do live in Ohio. I do live in Ohio. And I do have a job, but like if you're offering me like a better job, then, I'd be interested to hear about that. But I don't know if I'm near you or like what the job is or whatever. Agnes says, yes, join the Discord. They're on standby to verify. Yes, we have a short verification process, but if you join, there should be mods available to handle that. It's just to make sure that trolls don't get in. Just give a vague area. Yeah, like I try to do the same thing. I try not to give as much detail as possible. Totally reasonable. Keep yourself safe to be able to help others and keep the fight going. Yeah, I was thinking about that today. Like, because like I started. I don't want to really say that. Never mind. Doxing should be mandatory prison. Evil swatting should be instant life sentence. Yeah, I'm of the opinion that swatting is attempted murder, and it should be treated of that as that. You're not offering above your pay grade, but you can smooth the process, you hope. I mean, if you're like in my Discord, or if you're like, you know, if you think there's an opportunity for me, I'd be interested to hear it. For sure. Just to like know what you're talking about in the first place. That would be cool. I wonder how those who do the doxing feel like if the tables are turned. Yeah, I mean, I'm not one of those people that's big on like fighting fire with fire. Like, I just think doxing should be illegal. Period. It's dangerous. You know, like there's a lot of people in public life, like things are kind of public anyway. Like if you're like enough of a public figure, like you're pretty much like your whereabouts and what you're doing and stuff is like pretty available in general. So it's like it's already easy enough to find someone. Like we don't need people like, here's your family's addresses and here's your address. Can you keep us updated on the court cases that have been filed for the soldiers against the new ban? Yes, but it's gonna be the court process for that is probably gonna be quite slow, and I don't know how long it's gonna take. Like, do you remember how there were court cases for the soldiers who refused the vaccine or whatever? Those court cases went on for a few years. Like, yeah. So we'll see, but it's probably going to be a long process. Did I see that the Vice dictator met with Pope Leo? I did not. Maybe I did. Like I've been sort of in festival mode for a while, so I've not really been the past 5 days or so. You're so scared about running for office, what that's going to do to your privacy. Yeah, running for office is sort of forces you to give up a lot of that kind of like notion of privacy. Because a lot when you become a public figure, like you become a public figure, you know. It's part of the reason why I wouldn't want to run for office. Like I want to be able to keep like a level of I don't know, like I'm a real person in the real world, and I don't want to be treated as like a like I know eventually if my YouTube channel grows big enough, people will treat me like I'm like famous or whatever, but I don't really want that. I don't really want to be like walking down the street and have 70 people like run over and be like, oh my god, because like I don't know how to handle that. Like I genuinely, like, it's really endearing, but I don't know how to handle if that were to happen. Like to this day I've not been recognized in public outside of like going to like the Trans Unity Coalition stuff and a couple people being like, hey, I watch your channel. So yeah. True, you're against doxing, but just saying. Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. If people who dox people were doxed, they would be horrified. And yeah. I'm a bit paranoid about anyone knowing exactly where I am. I even use a VPN when streaming, and I'm a VTuber, so it's a bit hard for me to track via. But yeah, that's smart. I thought about doing VTuber stuff when I first started too, for that same exact reason. What's a VTuber? VTubers, oh, you already answered. VTubers use an animated avatar rather than a picture when streaming. Yeah, so like they're just like those people that it's like a little anime person or whatever, like dancing on the screen. That's like a VTuber. And it's very cute. It's very cute, honestly. I've thought about getting like a VTuber avatar for when I don't feel like, you know, doing makeup, or like if I just like feel like I look crappy that day or whatever. it might be nice to have a VTuber avatar. It's also nice because like when I'm on stream, I kind of feel pressure to be like, sit up straight and stare straight into the camera and all this stuff. Like if I'm VTubering, I just have to care about the mic. I don't have to like care about how I look or whatever. Being famous as a trans person must be stressful just in general. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but I'm sure it is. Do you face much bigotry IRL? And if you do, has it gotten worse this year? So that's actually the thing, is that I have faced exactly 0% increase in bigotry in my own personal life. And I think a big reason for that is because I've talked about this before, but I'm pretty open about being trans in my own life. And I'm pretty open about educating people and advocating for community and stuff like that. Like I was at work recently and I had my nails were painted as the trans flag colors. Like I just had my nails painted pink, blue, and white. And someone was like, oh, hey, those are really cute nails. And I said, thanks, they're the trans flag color. And they're like, oh, that's cool. And I was like, yeah, I did it because I went to this lobbying event. And I mentioned that there was like this budget bill. And I mentioned a couple of the provisions, which are pretty dark, pretty dystopian things. And people were like, oh my God, like that's really horrible. Like, I'm so sorry to hear that. And I said something along the lines of like, yeah, you know, I'm like really sorry to like bring the mood down. Like, I'm not trying to like make anyone depressed or anything. Like, I'm not trying to like be that person or whatever. And literally everyone that was listening was like, no, like you have the right to talk about this stuff and you have the right to be a person. Like you're just as like you're valid and you deserve like peace and you're, you know, you're just a human like the rest of us. So like everyone was super supportive and like in general, my life is I'm surrounded by people who are very supportive and who may be a little bit ignorant, may not know everything about trans people, but yeah, like they are in general like supportive of me and my life and my transition. And I live in a very red area. Like I live in an extremely red area. So yes, Ruby says, hi, Leah. It's my first time catching one of these lives. Glad to be here. Happy you're here. Welcome. Hey there, Vi. Do you want me to moderate you, make you a moderator? Oh, jeez. Freddy, you're a stinky boy. You are. Oh, you found like a little bread tie. How do you keep getting bread ties? I don't bring anything like that down here. I feel like someone in the house is like bringing them down. Yeah, okay. I got you. I made you a moderator. Let's see here. What are we saying? I've been in several fights since Trump was elected because of bigots. I mean, I would be curious about what that entailed. They were harassing you and being shitty. One person threw trash at you. My personal experience has been that people who are bigots are extreme cowards, and they tend to do nothing most of the time. If you're being harassed by people, I'm curious if like those are people you know or if those are people that are like random. Yeah, I mean, like I've not. Yeah, no, you didn't know them. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, like there are bigots who will be emboldened for sure by this administration and by the stuff going on for sure. Like I'm not saying it won't happen or it can't happen. Definitely can and will happen. But I would say that like if you have a really strong support network and you know the community you're living in, that's like half the battle. And then there's always going to be some bad eggs. But like I watched a video by a guy recently who's like a trans ally, and he like rides motorcycles. I can't remember the name of his YouTube channel, but he's like a very open ally, makes a lot of ally content, and rides a motorcycle, so like he makes content about motorcycle riding too. But he was talking about an experience where he was doing security work for a drag time story hour, and he mentioned how like these people pulled up to the event and they were like supposed to be the bigots who announced that they were going to be there to protest this stuff. Squid tips. I think that's the one. Yeah. Well, these people, like this guy showed up in a big black truck, and got out and walked over and was like, hi, whatever, like just talking, like basically just had a normal conversation with this squid tips guy, shook his hand and left. And then the guy was online talking about how like just saying some really unhinged stuff about the drag time story hour that was completely not true. Like saying that like they were trying to hide the children and they were like making it sound really nefarious. But in person, the bigot was just like, oh, hi, I'm Joe Schmo and I'm just here to shake your hand. Like, that's been my experience, is that bigots are extreme cowards, and like behind closed doors, they will say the worst things imaginable, but to your face, they'll just be like, oh, and they'll just be like really awkward and like stuff like that. So, there's my footy baby. My footy baby. Hey there, Zena. Quinn said, I saw this message earlier, but I missed it. Where is it? I just had to have a guy arrested off my front porch last week. I have followers on I have a gazillion followers on various platforms, and it still turned out to be the pizza guy I've kind of known for years. That's awful. I'm sorry that happened. That's something I worry about happening to me if I get a lot of followers. I'm kind of scared of the people of people. Like, I already get people who are a little bit parasocial in certain instances, and it makes me a little uncomfy. I can only imagine how weird that can get and how unsafe that can get. Yes, Freddy. The cat's name is Freddy. Yes. Yeah, his name is Freddy. He's a good boy. He's a very good boy. But he's a stinky boy. He's a stinky boy. True, a lot of people in my life tell me they think bigotry is getting worse, maybe worse than like last year, but overall I think people just have more places to express it. Yeah, like I think that a lot of these people feel emboldened. Like if you look in my comment section, you'll see people who are like, yeah, we love the hatred. Yeah, like I'll be talking about like the most horrific thing that the Trump administration is doing, like some horrible crap. And a lot of these like MAGA people will be like, yeah, we love inhumane acts. We love treating people with disrespect. We love the hatred. We love it. It's so cool. We're so awesome. And there's nothing you can do to stop it. Like, they have this attitude of like, hell yeah, we got our guy in office. And they're like trying to be braggadocious about it, right? In real life, I've seen virtually none of that. But like definitely online, especially, and I'm sure in person too, there are a lot of people who are just sort of like, they feel like the atmosphere, they feel like the cultural atmosphere has changed, even though, like, if we're all being completely honest, it kind of hasn't changed. Like the zeitgeist, like that's actually one of my biggest annoyances with the media right now. A lot of the media tends to make it seem like culture is pushing to the right now, and like there is maybe a small push to the right in certain parts of the country, but if we're being completely honest, like it's the same country, the same, like nothing has really changed over the past like year or so in terms of like the cultural zeitgeist. Like when Trump being in office is not indicative of like some massive right-wing cultural takeover. And the mainstream media keeps talking about it like it is, like keeps saying that. And it's making me really mad. It's making me really mad because it's like, no, you're like giving him ground where there is none. Like he's an extremely unpopular president. I'm not so much worried about bigots as I am about my access to HRT. Yeah, I mean, it depends on your age. Like, I don't know how your age is, Azureberry. But yeah, I mean, of course, we should be nervous about HRT stuff. Like, I recommend trying to get a stockpile, a small little stockpile going of medicine. And then I recommend, you know, knowing where you might find sources of HRT that are not officially prescribed potentially. And that's not medical advice. I'm just saying, you know, it might be like people used to have to get HRT from like underground sources, and we may have to do that again. And I'm not excited about that, and I don't want to have to do that, but that is like an inevitability, an inevitable reality of the situation that we're living in. That, sorry, that was a poor way to say that. That is a potential reality of the situation we're living in. It's not inevitable. I honestly think that they're going to do a lot of virtue signal-y kind of stuff, but like the actual impact on trans people is going to be pretty limited. Like, let me give you a couple examples. And I, for sure, like, by the way, I'm not doing this to underplay the harms and the badness that's happening. So just let me be very clear about that. But when we are looking at the harms that are being committed, so like, let's do the Florida bathroom ban. Marcy was the first person charged with that bathroom ban, and she was for sure not the first trans woman to break that bathroom ban. Marcy admitted herself, hard to speak. Marcy admitted herself that she broke the bathroom ban before, and just didn't, like, you know, not make a show out of it, but like, she didn't announce it, and she didn't like do this or that. And it, like, that's a reality in Florida. Yes, there's a bathroom ban, but who's enforcing that? Like, if you're really in early stages of transition and you're very like not passing, like, I can understand the anxiety and the fear of that. Like, personally, what I did was I used the men's room until I felt like, you know, it was incredibly awkward for me to do so, until I was like starting to mail fail sometimes. And like, I waited a while. I think it was about like 8 or 9 months on HRT before I started using the women's bathroom, and which makes it a passing ban. Yeah, it's sort of, but also like, even if you're not passing, who's gonna call the cops on you about that? Like, some people would, but like, most people won't. And like, even if they do call the police for you using the bathroom or whatever, how seriously do you think that police officer is going to take that? Like, do you think they're going to be like, let me go to the store right now and get security footage and seek down this person? And like, I don't know. Like it, to me, what we are seeing is that like, that bathroom ban, you're not going to get charged with that unless you do what Marcy did and like seriously go out of your way to do that. And again, that's not to underplay the harm, because it is harmful. Like, the bills, like the bathroom bans in and of themselves are an attempt to make us feel like we're not allowed to live in public life. Like, they are an attempt to say like, hey, if you're trans, you're not allowed to feel safe in public. You're not allowed to feel like you're allowed to use these spaces that other people are allowed to use. You're not allowed to have basic access to certain facilities that everyone should have access to. But that doesn't like the enforcement mechanisms for that are not there. Like, for instance, one of the provisions that I'm fighting right now in the Ohio budget bill is, so there's a provision that allocates money for projects that shelter unhoused youth. So like, there are certain projects in Ohio that are dedicated towards like providing assistance to underprivileged youth. And the Ohio budget bill gives them some money. It's like a few $1,000,000 or whatever. But there's a stipulation that if the shelter affirms or how did they say it? If the shelter like affirms or promotes social gender transition, then they lose 100% of their funding. Who's going to report that? Like, who's working at a shelter that's going to see a trans girl come into the shelter and be like, or like who's going to be working in a shelter, see someone come in who's a trans person, use the like they would have to shelter a trans youth and then use their correct pronouns or correct name or whatever, and then someone would have to report it. And it's a horrible provision. It's basically a provision that says that trans youth should die on the street. But like, is that actually going to be enforced? I would assume most people working at a shelter are not going to willingly report their own shelter for taking care of someone who's underprivileged. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? So it would have to be someone from the outside, someone hateful, and who's really paying all that much attention. I disagree, as cisgender women are being harassed by the ban. Wait, what do you disagree with there? Because I've talked about that. I'm not downplaying a threat. I've talked about those cis women on my stream and in my content before. There are cis women, like we've had this whole conversation before, that it's harmless. I did not say that. I specifically said that it's not harmless. I'm just saying that like the reality of what they're trying to do is not like as full, like they're not able to enforce the bigotry that they aspire to. Does that make sense? I think they're saying if cis women are being reported, then trans women will also be reported. Well, yeah, that's happening. I've talked about that before, and we've talked about how like passing has nothing to do with like passing is like beauty standards. It's like societal beauty standards. And so like there are a lot of cis women who don't quote unquote pass because like maybe they're like a butch lesbian, or like maybe they are like really tall, or maybe their brow bone is a little bit big. And I've talked about how people like that have been harassed. I'm just mentioning how like there's been a bathroom ban in Florida for a long time, and literally one person has been arrested for it. And that one person got arrested for it because she literally announced that she was going to do it, date, time, and included a picture of herself. Other than that, like no one has been arrested with that. Like yes, people are being harassed. Yes, people are being like people are like storming into bathrooms, like cis men are storming into women's bathrooms, screaming at women that they think are trans. That is real. That is happening. I'm not saying that like there's no harm. I'm just saying that like when they pass a bill that says trans women are not allowed to use the bathroom, like that doesn't just become an instant reality that we're not allowed to use the bathroom. Like that's just them saying we're not allowed to. I don't know about anyone else, but there have been a lot of times in my life where like, you know, the government has said like, hey, you're not allowed. Like I've like I have a medical marijuana card, which is legal in Ohio. But like I used it when it was illegal. A lot of people have, like, that's just like a thing. And I didn't like, you know, it made me nervous, it made me anxious, it made me careful about it. But like, it wasn't like just because it was illegal, like I was never allowed to partake. Like, I don't know. Trans people have been illegal before. Trans people have been illegal before, and they still existed. And now was life amazing? Was life the best? Were things wonderful and amazing for a lot of our trans elders? Hell no. But that's why they fought so hard with Stonewall and with like a lot of other things, and did a civil rights movement that pushed us to the point where we are now, where it's not illegal to be trans. And I think that a lot of people are worried that we're like regressing back to that point where it's going to be 100% illegal to be trans, and where like we're not allowed to go out in public and all this other stuff. But the fear of that is what is stopping people. Like, that's the point. Like, the point is the fear, because they know that they can't enforce all this crap. They know that they can't stop us from being trans just by signing some executive order. But like, they can just virtue signal over and over and scare people and like do things in whatever ways possible to harm people. Like, they're going to remove all those trans service members from the military. That is a definitive harm. But like, there's still a future for those people. Like, those people are not being like thrown in a dungeon or whatever. They're losing their careers, and they're losing recognition for loyal service. And like, that's horrible enough as is. But we don't need to like, I see a lot of people do this thing where it's like, I was out in public today as a trans person and I wasn't deported, so it was a good day. And it's like, I gotta be real with all of you. Like, we're not to that point yet. Like, we're not being deported. Like, trans people are not being rounded up and thrown in unmarked vehicles by the hundreds or thousands or millions. Like, that's just not happening. But there are people who act like that is what is happening. And losing your career and primary source of income is very serious. Yeah, I know. It's happened to me before. Like, yes, it is very serious. But like Aurora is going to live. Like, she's going to have a life. It's not like the Trump administration doing what they've done to her is dishonorable and disgusting and horrible and frustrating and unfair and all of those other negative words. But like, Aurora is still here with us. She's still fighting for her rights, and she's still like, she's gonna still find joy in her life. She's still gonna find purpose in her life. Like, she's still gonna find, like, do you understand what I'm trying to say here? Like, you have to understand like actual oh god, why can I can't think of the word right now. That stoicism, like actual stoicism. Like, a lot of stoicism is rooted in the idea that like, there are certain things that we're not going to be able to control. There are certain bad things that are going to happen, and we have to learn how to like respond to those things appropriately and with like an appropriate amount of energy, and know what to do in response to those things without like spiraling into whatever. Yes, but there is no valid reason for banning trans people from serving. I know that. Like, I don't. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to like get aggravated, but you're chatting with me as if I'm like disagreeing with you. You're chatting with me as if I'm on the other side, rooting for the transphobes or something. Like, I do not understand why you're chatting with me in the way that you're chatting with me. Like, I'm in agreement with you with basically everything that you've said. I just try to caution people about taking the fear and running with it, like a lot of people have been doing. There are a lot of YouTubers who are like, get ready for the furnaces, here we go. And it's like, I'm not gonna do that shit unless I actually think that we're under that level of threat. And right now, I'm not seeing it. Yes, there are a lot of deportations happening. There are a lot of immigrants who should be very scared. There are a lot of people who should be very scared. But trying to downplay the damage done isn't really making things better. No, I'm not downplaying the damage. I'm literally just not overstating it for clicks. There are a shit ton of people online right now who are willing to say that we're being rounded up and we should be absolutely, you should lock yourself inside and you should never go outside again, and you should get a piss jug so that you never have to go to a public bathroom again. And if you see someone with a hat and a trench coat, they're ICE and they're coming to throw you in a van and you're gonna lose your life tomorrow. You're a trans person and you should buy a gun and bar your door, because the next person to enter your house is gonna be someone who's gonna throw you in an unmarked van and send you to El Salvador. And I'm not gonna say that shit, because I'm not here to like unnecessarily scare people or like freaking like make, you know what I mean? Like, do you understand what I'm saying? I interview the people that are being harmed by this stuff. I've literally talked to Marcy. I've talked to Aurora. I've talked to people. I see people in my comment sections telling me of the horrible stuff. Like, I know people that have lost their jobs in federal employment. I know people that have lost their jobs in, like, they're going to lose their service record. They're going to lose their veteran benefits. They're going to lose all this stuff. Like, that is a real thing, and that's real. But like, let's not jump to the extreme on the other end, because then that just makes people, like, if you're a 12, like if you're like a 16-year-old trans child right now, and you go on YouTube and you see some of these bigger channels with the headlines that they're posting, like, I'm sorry, but like, it kind of pisses me off. Like, for instance, I will specifically call out Secular Talk because I actually have respect for Kyle Kulinski, and I'm not like trying to talk shit about him or whatever. But Kyle Kulinski made a video recently that said, like, some state has officially banned being transgender. And like, what he was talking about is that there was a bill that passed the House that is like an anti-trans bill that passed the House. And I don't even know the full details of it yet. Like, I have not looked into it all the way, but that title is not correct. Like, they have not officially made it illegal in that state yet, because was it Texas? Was it Texas? I think it might have been Texas. Yeah. Did it pass the Senate too, or was it just the House? Because last time I looked, it had only passed the House, and like, he was making a video about it as if it was signed into law. And like, that's not, like, you have to understand that like, this bill is going to go through the House, and then it's going to go into committee, and then it's going to go to the Senate, and then if it passes the Senate, then it goes to the governor, and if the governor signs it, then there are instances to challenge it in court. Like, there's all sorts of shit. Like, there are barriers, and there are things, and then, oh my gosh. Okay. So like, I just, like, certain things like that, I think are fear mongering. And I think it gets people to sensationalize, to click the video, to try to, like, you know, people see that video and they're like, oh shit, oh fuck. Like, my life is illegal now. Oh shit, oh fuck. And then they click it, and then it's like, well, it's not really illegal. Not officially, but the fact that the bill even exists is damaging. Sensationalism is clickbait. Yeah. Yes. The bill existing at all is super fucked up. Agreed. But let's not, like, if you are a 16-year-old trans person online right now, do you think that that's like, do you feel like you're gonna grow up in a world that's safe to live in, or like that you like? A lot of trans people already take their own life. Like, there's a lot of that in our community already. People who are scared and who remove themselves from life because they feel like there's no hope for the future. And I never want to be one of those creators who, like, someone watches my video and then decides that life isn't worth it anymore, and then they go do something horrible. Like, I don't want to be that. I want people to have hope for our future, because there is hope for our future. Things have been worse for our community in the past, and our trans elders have fought harder for our rights than basically anyone who's in this chat room or alive right now. Like, I'm just being serious. I just want to be super honest with you right now. There are a lot of young queer folk who have absolutely no idea what a lot of our trans elders went through and how hard they had to fight for, like, literally our basic existence in public. I'm an idiot. What bill are we talking about right now? There was like a Texas bill where they want to make it like fraud to have like your gender marker different than your quote unquote biological sex, which is stupid. Yeah, it passed the House, and certain YouTubers were talking about it as if it was like signed into law and it was officially illegal to be trans in Texas. That's not true, and that's fear mongering. And that leads, like, what if some young trans Texas child like sees that headline from Kyle and just goes in spirals and does like the unthinkable. Like I think that that's unconscionable, and I think that that's like, again, I respect Kyle Kalinske. I'm not trying to like shit on him or whatever, but like that is that's irresponsible, because you have to understand the community that you're talking to. Like, yes, it's going to get you more clicks to say something that dramatic, but it's like blatantly untrue, and you're dealing with a community of people that already struggles with their mental health and with that kind of stuff, you know. Like we're a vulnerable population already, like, and it's not okay. So I just think like a level of awareness about like that kind of stuff is important. Geez, I went on about that for a long time. I would agree that Leah's point is that we can acknowledge the bad, but not let it hold us back from living. That is 100,000% what I am saying. I went to a festival this past weekend, and I had a great time. Did Trump ruin my weekend? Did him being in office like screw up my whole weekend and make it impossible for me to go out and make it impossible for me to find joy and live my life? No, he did not. He's certainly making me anxious, and he's making it harder to live as a trans person in the United States, and he's emboldening bigots, and he's doing all this stuff. Like, that is for sure true. But like, I still went out and I lived my damn life. Like, I went out and I did the thing that I wanted to do, and I enjoyed my time, and I think that that's important. Like, part of what I wanted to talk about tonight is that like, everyone here should be trying to find things that you can do to keep you sane. Like, you need things to like find joy and to live your life. Absolutely live your life, but stay informed and fight back to the best of your ability. I 100% agree with what you just said. And if you think that I don't do that, then that's hilarious, because you're just chatting in my chat right now. But I like literally I go and volunteer with a nonprofit that's like fighting transphobia actively. And I make videos once a week talking about some of the biggest issues happening in our community right now. And I do live streams every week, giving people advice, engaging with people, and talking with people about current events and the current political climate. Like, I am literally doing abso-fucking-lutely everything I can to fight back and to do what I can for our community and to bring hope and to bring bring the fight and get people engaged. Like, that is like literally what I am doing. And if are you doing more than that? Because you kind of sound like you're on a fucking high horse about. Did I say that you don't? Well, it's just like the way you've been engaging with chat. Like, you said that I was downplaying harms and this, that, or another thing, and it's like, okay, I'm just gonna stop engaging with that. I'm sorry, chat. I really let that derail me for like forever. I missed a bunch of other chat stuff, and I saw a bunch of support also, so I really appreciate that. A lot of you were saying some really kind things about my videos and my takes and my stuff, and I really appreciate all the support and the kind words there. So I didn't get a chance to like shout all of you out individually because I sort of like hyper focused on a single chatter, but well, you kind of were. Okay, well, you have a great one, Jamie. I hope that you become less pedantic over time and stop like doing that, because like I don't know what your point was. I'm not gonna reopen that conversation. I'm just gonna. You have a great one. Is it normal to tell a trans acquaintance that they helped me crack my egg, or is that more for friends to know? I think that that's fine to share that with someone. I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. I mean, like, you should try to know them a little bit individually before you say that, maybe. But like, I've definitely, like, there's a specific YouTuber who helped me crack my egg, And I've told her in the comment section, like, you did it. It was you. So, I mean, I think that's, you know, sometimes that's good for people to hear, because like a lot of people try to bring awareness, like, especially if, like, I don't know. I'm 39. This is still better from the perspective of how many people in the population that aren't against us compared to the past. But yeah, it's not like we're being supported. Yeah, yeah. Thanks, Leah. Love what you do. Keep doing what you do. Thank you, Jamila. I appreciate that. Hi there, DJ. The femboy furry. I like all the support that you do, and I was surprised to see you on tonight. Thank you. Yeah, I was gonna stream yesterday, but I just like had too much going on. I was really, I'm still really tired, but I was really tired from the festival, so I just like could not do it yesterday. Wait, did I say something wrong? No, you're fine. All you said was that things are better than they were in the past, but it's not like things aren't super great right now, but I agree with that. She was a coworker, and I have her phone number, but haven't really talked to her in a few months. Like, I mean, maybe just like strike up, you know, like text conversation, just like, hey, was thinking, like, how are you? Blah, 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 blah. Just, you crossed my mind, was wondering how you're doing. And then, you know, maybe if you get a good conversation going, then you can say something like, they ask like how you're doing, and maybe you just mention like, well, actually, I just recently started exploring my gender, and I'm not gonna lie, you're kind of the reason that I started doing that. So thank you. That's how I would approach it, and I think that that's totally fair. And like, you don't want to just pop out of nowhere and be like, you cracked my egg. Maybe you do want to do that. I don't know. I feel like it's better just to lead into it a little bit to make sure that there's, you know, that said individual is interested in engaging in the first place. I second Bubble would love Marcy updates. I have not had a chance to look into what happened with her sentencing, so I will let me try to look that up right now. See if I can find. So her arrest. I don't really see anything about like her sentencing, which I thought was actually happening. Like, I'm pretty sure that was supposed to happen. Like I think that already happened, right? Oh, Brad, what are you doing, buddy? Yeah, I don't see anything recent on like Google or whatever. So I'll have to like maybe reach out to her or something and see if I can find an answer to that. Okay. Progress and trans acceptance doesn't equate to safety if history of marginalized people is any guide, sadly. Well, yes, it's a nuanced conversation. It just because we are more accepted does not mean that you specifically are safe. Everything is very nuanced. There's a lot of nuance. I'm glad I found your channel. It has helped my mental health. Well, thank you for saying that, Buggy. I appreciate that. Sincere gestures are essential for progress. I agree with that. I'd far rather be living in 2025 with people that support us, even with laws that are garbage, compared to 1990, where we have far more public support compared to then. Yeah, like laws were really dystopian back in the 60s, but we also had less public support. So like those laws were enforced. Like if people saw a non-passing trans person walking down the street back in the day, they actually did call the cops, and they did like it, things were way more aggressive back then. But like you know, we live in a society that has progressed to a point where like this stuff is not. Yeah. You are amongst my main trans news sources. I prefer people like you and Ty Turner that give it straight and not inflate shit. I like Ty Turner's channel. He's pretty cool. I appreciate the way that he approaches this stuff too. I think that he does take a level of care with it. He doesn't sensationalize as much as he could, which I think is good. I want to be living in 2060. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens in 2060. We'll see, but I'm sure things will keep improving over the course of history. Just we're living, like, you know, progress is non-linear. Like, things are not. It is not a linear process that we gain rights. So, if anything, one thing I've been talking about is that we should be using this hatred and these harms as energy for a civil rights movement. Like because all of this stuff is happening, that's why I'm so engaged with our civil rights right now. That's why I am working with Trans Unity Coalition. That's why like my YouTube channel before the election happened, like I was literally just doing regular news and politics, but then the election happened and I started focusing specifically on our community and doing news about our community. And so, like, this attack on our community has led to my activism. And if we had more people get involved with activism, then we could push for a civil rights movement that would essentially push, like, we could do a civil rights movement that would push for protections to be signed into the law, so that we can't be discriminated against. And if we got to that point, then the hate movements would become kind of ineffectual because they would have no teeth. And I think that in this sort of climate, you can make an argument that protections are necessary because there are so many attacks against our community. Like, the more bans and the more bills that they pass, the more ridiculous it seems. And like if they try to do the trans sports ban, like, we're not going to be able to build. I mean, we can build a civil rights movement. I got Freddie hair all over my face. It's kind of annoying. We can build a civil rights movement, you know, out of nothing. But like, the more bans they pass and the more they try to attack us, the more it becomes obvious that it's an attack and that they're being discriminatory against us and cruel and unusual. Like, there have been multiple judges who have said that these executive orders that have been signed against us are literally unconstitutional, cruel and unusual punishment. So, like, hopefully we can start a civil rights movement that'll push for our protections to be signed into law so that we can't be used as political pawns in the future. Like, that's what I would hope for. Thank you for being on this platform. You help countless people. I'm originally from Australia. You live in Pennsylvania now. Well, I'm sorry that you moved from Australia to Pennsylvania. That does sound like a sort of like a downgrade, but my family's originally from Pennsylvania. And I actually kind of like Pennsylvania. I'm not gonna lie. I like Ohio and I like Pennsylvania. I know that that's an unpopular opinion, but I actually do like the Midwest. I like it kind of a lot. So hot take, but Ohio is actually not that bad, and neither is Pennsylvania. What was I've always been very accepting and trans positive, but it took me until I was 26 to actually consider my own gender transition. Yeah, I mean, like, I've been, yeah, like, that's very understandable. That's very understandable. I totally get that. I mean, like, I've known about trans people for an incredibly long time, but I didn't start questioning my gender until like my 20s, mid 20, like 20s into mid 20s, and I didn't really figure out the trans part until my late 20s. So Ohio has good food, unironically. If you're near the big cities, there are a lot of really good restaurants in Ohio. Like, there are a ton of good restaurants in the cities, for sure. I don't understand why the ACLU isn't more supportive. Yeah. Well, I think a lot of organizations and a lot of people feel like if they stick their heads out, it's gonna get cut off, kind of thing. That's part of like the war on media that the Trump administration has been perpetuating. It's that it's trying to make people feel like they need to fall in line or else, you know. So that's part of the issue with the administration is that they are very much against free speech. They do not want people speaking their minds. They want people falling in line. They want blind, loyal agreement. So they want passive what's the word or what's the phrase for it? Um where you just like let it happen basically. Um I don't know. I can't remember. I'm from Illinois and I love it there. Live in the Bible Belt now and I miss it. I love Chicago. I haven't really I don't know much about the rest of Illinois, but I do love Chicago. Oh boy, chat is really active. Have a three-way at Skyline for me. Yeah, only Ohioans know about Skyline. If you're not from Ohio, you don't understand the ways of the way. You don't understand the chili spaghetti phenomenon. And if you go through Ohio, you have to try Skyline. It's like you need to. It's our cultural heritage. Chili on spaghetti. No, Fred, no. No, hold on. Oh my god, 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay. Well, Freddy shitted on the floor. He shitted all over the floor. It was massive, and it was a big old poop. That one was really gross. That was very gross. Honestly, I need to clean the room in general. Because the room's kind of dirty. Like, his food area is kind of dirty. Like, he gets food all over when he eats, and he's a messy boy in general. God. He's like kind of getting better. So one thing that we did is we swapped him to so he was on a chicken diet. Like, his food was chicken based, and I was wondering if that was like not sitting well with him. I was wondering if maybe he had like a chicken allergy or something. And so I swapped into a diet. It's whitefin and duck. So now he's on that whitefin and duck, and he's having an adjustment period to it. Like, you know, when you swap food for certain animals, they get like an upset tummy. That is definitely happening with him. So it's hard to tell if he's improving on that food or not. Because, you know, there's the adjustment period. Jesus. I literally like I'm streaming, so I just put litter on top of it for now. And then I'm gonna after stream's over, I'm gonna have to clean that up. That was pretty gross, Fred. Pretty gross. And he's like hiding in shame right now. He's absolutely hiding in shame. He knows he goofed up. Jesus. I may have to cut stream a little bit short because of this, honestly. Best to alternate with poultry and fish. Yours is very finicky. Well, I don't know about that, because my cat doesn't do well with like he prefers to be on a consistent diet. But I just thought that maybe the chicken was the issue, because like I've been trying all sorts of stuff for a long time. But yeah, I wondered if maybe being on chicken was the issue. So we'll see if he starts to improve on that whitefin and duck over time. Yeah, he's a very gross boy. He's a very gross boy, but he's my gross boy, and I love him very much. Sorry I wasn't here to see what chat was talking about. We need to get you a BRB scene. Yeah, I think someone sent me something that sort of like that, but I never really looked into it too much. Thank you all for the support again, by the way. I see some support in the chat. And I've been in Ohio my whole life, and I'm not a fan of Skyline. Oh, that happens. That happens. I mean, you know, I'm from Ohio, and I don't know what you're talking about. Wait, Lauren, you don't know what happened? You don't know what happened with the chili and the spaghetti? Lauren, you don't know about the chili spaghetti? Ugh. I feel like I got Freddy fur all over my nose. Like, I feel like I can feel it, but I can't, like, get it. Cats have a weird diet thingy. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, well, I have to probably go clean up this mess. And then I gotta clean up the room in general, because kind of dirty. I was gonna try to go for 2 or 3 hours. We're almost at 2 hours. Leah, the HRT continues to do great things. Your face is looking so soft and feminine. Thank you. You're 2+ years and in on HRT and it's taking forever. Yeah, I'm almost at 2 years. My 2 years will be in September. September 11th is my HRT anniversary, which is feels like a cosmic joke of some kind, like a really a cosmic joke in poor taste, but nonetheless. Just so happens that I started my HRT on 9/11. Also, oxtail is good. Interesting. I've never heard about that. Are you talking about for cats, right? Is Skyline chili like Soylent Green or something? I don't know what Soylent Green is, actually. I do not know what that is. "12 years for me and I still feel behind." Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. You know, I have dysphoric days too. I think in general, I'm pretty happy with my progress on HRT, but I do, you know, I have days where I feel really clocky and terrible, for sure. I thought we were naming unusual foods we like. Oh, for cats? Yeah. You just started HRT, you're sad. You're 21, you just started a month ago. Hey, I was 29 when I started. So you got like 8 years on me. My eyes are always so on point. Really? I mean, I do my mascara and I do my waterline, but like I don't do like eyeliner very often. Someone else said I just started it. I'm 29. I was in my mid 30s. I was 51. Yeah, like it's never too late. Never too late. Marcy's 26 and starting tomorrow. Congratulations, by the way, Marcy. That's awesome. I've seen people of all ages have, you know, transition stuff. have good transition stuffs. You're super cute. Well, thank you, Quinn. I appreciate that. Really nice of you. Also at 29, 32 was when Grace started. Was out socially for 6 years before that and came out in 98. Was promptly shown in the closet. Oh. Started when they were 27. Chunky was 37. Yeah. 45 now, started at 33. Nice. Yeah, like, you know, it's all about like be consistent with your medicine. And then like social transition is also an important aspect of it. Like it's about how you wear it, you know. Like there's a lot of diversity in cis people, and so like I think that like we mentioned early, passing is kind of like a beauty standard thing. Like I think there's some reality to that. I'm not saying that like it's all about social transition. Like there is certainly like an aspect of it that like, you know, HRT and genetics and whatever another thing. Like there are certain things that help, but in general, I feel like most people should be able to reach their goals in today's age with effort, you know, like not easily or anything, but with time and effort. Oh, I never did transition. All I did was stop pretending. Yeah, that's a kind of a cool way to talk about it. Naomi says, I can't believe it's been over 4 years since I started. Yeah. Just remember to work out and stuff. Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. To all the trans people in chat, love you guys. USA is so bad right now, but you're all handling it amazing. Keep staying true to yourself. Thank you. I appreciate that sentiment. I appreciate that sentiment. But yeah, try not to worry about age too much. Like spending any amount of time living your truth is better than not, is how I feel about it. So like, you know, I'm gonna have 30, 40, maybe 50, 60 years of living as my true self, and like that's good for me. That's good to me. Like that's better than not living my life as my real authentic self at all. By the way, Leah, you got it wrong. It's not Ohioans, it's Buckeyes. Just you being silly. Is that a real thing? I've always said Ohioans. Is that a real thing? Are we not Ohioans? Because I thought that's what it was. Really annoys me looking back and recognizing that while I was socially out trans, very few people took me seriously as a trans woman until you started HRT. Yeah. A lot of cis people have trans med brain for sure. That's an unfortunate reality. My bestie has been in a weird limbo for years of not passing as either gender, and it makes her even more dysphoric than before. I don't know how to support her. She's always sad about it. Okay. How do I talk about this without people getting mad at me in chat? So I've been on Reddit, and if you've been on Reddit, you may have noticed that there are certain Reddits that are for like judging if people pass or judging if people whatever. And there are certain people who absolutely pass that post on Reddit who are like, I don't pass, I'm not pretty enough, I don't, very sad. And they're like impossible to convince otherwise. There's definitely some issues with that going on where some people like do not know how to, like you have to learn to accept certain things about yourself. Like passing doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be 100% happy with your appearance all of the time. And I think that some trans people get stuck in sort of like a constant sense of disappointment with their transition and their progress and stuff. But like, you got to do everything you can to socially transition and do everything that you can to feel euphoria and to feel comfortable in your own body. But like, you have to let go of the expectation that like, you're gonna get rid of dysphoria entirely, and that you're gonna like you are your own worst critic. Yeah, exactly. That is for sure a thing. Like everyone is their own worst critic. I mean, I think that I look very clockable at times, and a lot of people tell me that I pass a lot, and I'm sure I do pass in a lot of situations because I do. But, you know, when I got my hair up and I haven't done my makeup and I look really grungy and I like just rolled out of bed or whatever, I do not pass. Like I look still very not passing in my opinion. And then maybe some people would disagree with that. But like I just have to learn to accept that, you know, like if I look at my side profile, I feel like my side profile is very clocky. So I'm just, you know, I could get FFS or something, but that's sort of unattainable for me right now because that's a lot of money and time recovering, and I don't have the privilege for that. So yeah, you know, just like learning to love yourself, even if maybe you don't fit into the societal beauty standards that are laid out perfectly. Like no one fits perfectly into beauty standards that are set out for us. Like you have to be a very specific kind of person to fit in with what society says is. Your side profile looks better than your front facing. You when you lie. You when you lie. No, I think my front facing looks very passing. I think that my side profile is like very clocky. Personally, I don't think trans people are good at evaluating passing. Yeah, no, for sure. I do think that trans people get very in their head about not passing. I think that a lot of people, if you're trans, you tend to think about things in gendered terms very frequently. when like not a lot of other people, like cis people, are not thinking about things in a gendered way most of the time. And there are certain interactions that trans people have that might not have anything to do with them being trans, but they interpret it as something being trans related or whatever, you know? So yeah, I definitely think that's happened. Thanks, Leah, in the chat. Of course. Happens with all of us. I did this for a while and it helped me feel a little bit more comfortable about myself, just because I told myself I'm the only one saying this. Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. For sure. I still have a lot of problems looking myself in the mirror. I can get that. I understand that. I mean, like, you know, it's not an easy journey. But the longer I'm on HRT, the more comfortable I do feel. I have no real desire to get FFS. I will just accept my slightly larger brow bone. Yeah, I think maybe eventually it's something I would think about, but at the same time, I don't know. I try not to think about it too much. Specifically because like I feel like I shouldn't get the surgery unless I really, really, really feel like I need it. And I sort of don't feel like I really, really need it. I feel like maybe a brow bone reduction would be nice, but like, you know, like, do I really want to shell out for that? And do I really want to have to deal with the recovery? And like, I don't know. Italian genes means I have a lot of thick hair regardless of what parts I have. I hate that. Yeah, I'm Italian and German, and trust me, I totally understand. Like, my body hair has definitely changed on HRT. It's thinned out, it's a lot different, but I still have a lot of body hair. And so I have to shave a freaking lot to stay like as hairless as our beauty standards expect. Like, you know, beauty standards for women is kind of unfair in terms of body hair. Laser full body, God, I love it. Oh God, I mean, just doing my face with laser was super expensive, and I'm still gonna have to do electrolysis like around the chin and upper lip area. I don't even want to know. Hoping HRT will do just enough magic to make me look good. I feel like a lot of people, I don't know. Laser is one of those things where like your facial hair is not going to go away on HRT. So like laser is probably one of those things that a lot of trans women, I don't want to say should view as necessary, but like either laser or electrolysis are going to be something that a lot of trans women especially go through, because you know, HRT is not going to solve that problem for you. So glad I finally saved up to purchase a Braun Series S9. Best close electric shaver. Interesting. I have a Philips one blade. How many Italians are here? I'm Italian. When you hit after 30, the body slows down on producing collagen. Yeah, so I take collagen daily, and I would recommend doing that if you are in your mid 20s. I would recommend looking into that. Just like take a little bit of collagen every day. I get it as a powder that I add to a drink. Like I drink a protein razor. A protein. Oh my God, I just read the word razor. I drink a protein shake every morning and I add collagen to it. Learn the safety razor. Yes, I have a safety razor, and that was life-changing for me. If you do not know what a safety razor is, you should look it up because it's cheaper, it does a better job, and it's less painful. It's like literally better for you in every way possible. It's just a little bit harder to learn how to use. Protein laser, protein razor. Protein laser is a terrible band name, but so is protein razor. I love that my insurance will not cover my electrolysis without a referral. I can't get a surgery referral without surgery area electrolysis. Yeah, that's kind of a crappy process. I don't think laser is necessary for full feminization. In fact, for some people, laser doesn't even work, yet they can achieve full results. Well, yeah, I mean, like shaving can definitely go a long way. I think that for a lot of people, like for me, laser was necessary. I had a full beard and like full, like I had a massive facial shadow when I started transitioning. Like that was probably at a certain point the clockiest part of myself. So like laser was necessary for me. Laser seems to remove leg hair faster than the facial hair. That's understandable. The different hair responds differently. The facial hair is a lot more stubborn. Like a lot of mine is gone except for the upper lip and chin. There are still some stubborn hairs, and I'm probably gonna have to do electrolysis for those because laser seems to not be doing too much to them anymore. So. Good luck finding electrolysis. Yeah. There are electrolysis clinics near me. Oh, why is my mic peaking? How did that even happen? Have I tried chia seeds in water? For what? For what? Yes, Leah, you hit the nail on the head. I speak to you anon because of that. Wait, because of what? Sorry. I don't know what that was in reference to. What does collagen do? So collagen is like basically the stuff in your skin that it's like part of your soft tissue. It's like what gives your skin the fullness and the it's a part of your skin, and as you age you produce less of it naturally, and taking collagen helps with that. Like I'm not saying everyone is going to have the same results, but like Jennifer Aniston takes collagen every day and we see her how she looks. I'm sure some of that is genetics and whatever, but I would be willing to bet that that is a part of the reason why she looks good. Like, you know, as you get older, how like the under eyes get darker is because you're losing collagen in your under eye area. And it's making it easier to see like the blood vessels in the space because like, you know, your eyes, it's like a socket, right? And like your eyes fill part of that socket, but not all of it. And so there's like, you know, there's like empty space where if you don't have collagen, like you can see like the blood vessels and stuff. You can use handheld IPL for collagen also. I've heard that. I don't know about that. I have no idea if that's real or whatever. Vaseline over freshly shaved areas is what us old school T-girls did before laser, and it's less expensive than electrolysis. Well, what does that do? Eat fish. Fish has hella collagen in it. Yeah, so like a lot of like there's like fish has collagen in it. Like the fattier parts of meat have a lot of collagen in it. Like if you eat this sounds really gross, but if you eat like tendon or something like that, or like tripe or something like that, it literally it's got collagen. That is collagen. So like a lot of collagen protein powders are made from like cowhide or whatever, and it's just collagen like shaved off of cowhide. Bone broth is good as well. Yeah, that's also very good. Most things rich in omega-3 have collagen. That's true. I'm pretty sure. Guess you missed the politics chat. Yeah, we talked about politics. This stream is more about like talking about how we can get through this time period with our mental health in check and stuff. Like I've been kind of unplugged from politics for like 5 days or so, so I don't have the most updated takes on news right now. But I just sort of wanted to talk about like for me, unplugging for the weekend and going out to the festival and learning and spinning and meeting people and doing all that stuff. That was therapeutic in a way that I really needed. And I think that, you know, a lot of us are struggling with what's going on, but we need to try to keep in mind that like you got to do stuff that's going to make you happy, and you got to take care of your own mental health, and you got to do that kind of stuff, because that's it's really important. What festival did I go to? It's called Kinetic Fire. It's like a flow arts festival. It's something I've talked about a lot. If you want to see what flow arts is, I just started sharing videos recently on my Instagram. I know Instagram sucks. I know. But like, I have one. So I started sharing my flow arts stuff on Instagram. I actually have like a video that I was gonna edit like tonight or something to put up there, because I'm gonna try to do puppy hammer, which is like a prop that I spin like every day. And so I want to try to post as frequently as possible on Instagram to kind of show my progress and keep myself accountable to working on it and stuff. I need a break from all the news, so I watch my series like season 2 of The Last of Us. Exactly. Like, take little breaks, spend time for your, like, don't be plugged in 24/7. Don't just have YouTube up all the time. Like, watch Adventure Time, or like spend time with friends. Like start a D&D campaign with your friends, or go to a festival, or go camping, or go hiking, or do whatever, you know? Can I show one on here? You don't have Instagram? I think if you go to my link tree, let me see what happens. I'm pretty sure if you click on my link tree and you're not logged into an Instagram. Here, give me a second. I honestly, I would delete Instagram, but I don't know. You tried, honestly? Well, that's all we can do. Just try. Just, you know, gotta try to find joy in your life somehow. We can't let them win, you know. That's part of what they want, is they want us to be miserable and unhappy and afraid. So we sort of have to like trans joy is defiance. It is resistance. Okay, yeah, I'll show you didn't delete it. No, I know, but a lot of people deleted Instagram and Meta and stuff. And I totally understand why. Totally understand why. Because Meta sucks. Meta freaking sucks. All right, give me a second. I gotta like reorganize things a little bit. Joy is punk AF. You only have blue sky? Nice. How did I find my voice? Do you mean like how did I do voice training? Because I have a whole video about that on my channel, if you want. You've been rewatching Steven Universe? I've actually never seen Steven Universe, but I need to do that. I'm still like, I've still never finished Adventure Time. Like I'm like in like season 7 or 8 or so. But I'm kind of I'm one of those people where like I'm super sheltered with media. Like there are a ton of shows and movies that I've never seen before. So I used to do a daily post on my so I'm wearing like a sports bra on some of those. I don't know if YouTube cares about that. But yeah, I used to do like a daily post, transition related stuffs, and now I've been posting flow arts stuff. See, I'm not logged in. Oh wait, am I logged in? How am I logged in on desktop? I've never used Instagram desktop before. Why is this not loading? Deleted TikTok too for the same thing. I haven't posted on TikTok in a really long time. What is going on here? Why is it not loading the videos? Is it just Instagram desktop is broken? A sports bra so scandalous? Well, I don't know. I just, YouTube or whatever. They're a little bit puritanical sometimes. It auto logs you in? That's creepy. I don't know why it's not showing. I guess desktop Instagram must truly be just like the worst butthole thing ever. Like it's not even letting me, like it's not even opening up the post. The browser? I'm using like Internet Explorer, I think. I don't know. Do I even have any other browsers? Give me a second. Do I have Chrome installed or something, or Firefox? Probably have Firefox installed. Wait, what? Do I not have Firefox installed? I was like using Firefox until recently, I thought. Like there was like a site that wasn't working, so like YouTube wouldn't let me upload my videos properly on Firefox, so I had to swap to Internet Explorer to upload my videos. Okay, well, I'm installing Firefox real quick to see if it'll work better. Just tried a nice sympathy post. It got flushed. I don't know what you mean by that. But I'm sorry? What to use instead of Instagram? People have been using Blue Sky, but it's not really the same. It's not really the same thing as Firefox. I don't care about this. Firefox didn't auto log me in. Like Firefox didn't know who I was. How did Internet Explorer know? What are we waiting for on Insta? Someone wanted to see my flow art stuff because they don't have an Instagram. You do have to be logged in. That's really annoying. I don't even know what my password is. So we're gonna find out if I can guess it. You recommend Labor Wolf over Firefox? I've never heard of that before. Open the post in new tab. It works probably. Okay, I'll try that. What? God, Instagram desktop really does suck. Like really bad. Oh, it did work. It worked. Wow, this is awful. And I think I posted like 2 videos. Okay, yeah. This is a bit janky to say the least. So this is me rope darting and juggling, and ignore how terrible I look. The lighting is not great, and I got my hair up and I look terrible. But yeah, so the thing on a string is a rope dart, and then I have some juggling balls, and I'm essentially alternating between rope darting and juggling. And I'm not very good at this, but this is something I came up with. Like, I've never seen anyone do this before. So it's like a thing that's kind of unique to me. Something that I've been working on. It's impressive. Well, thanks. I'm not very good at it because it's really hard, but it's something that I've been working on. And then there's other stuff too. Like I do this thing called Puppy Hammer. I shared some of that on Instagram. So this is me spinning Puppy Hammer, which is actually what I'm wearing right now. I'm wearing my Puppy Hammer. And I do this with it on fire. I do not the dart juggling thing, but I do this. Well, I have not done Puppy Hammer on fire, but I do other props on fire. Like I do Dragon Staff on fire. I do Rope Dart on fire. I do Rope Dart on fire, just not with the juggling balls. That is a long puppy. It's actually not that long. It's actually like perfectly sized. My old Puppy Hammer was too short, and so I got a new one and got it like resized. Well, I didn't get it resized. I got a new one. Hi, Fred. I'm still a little mad at you, but you're a good boy. I'm probably gonna get off here pretty soon. I just wanted to show you guys the stuff. I really gotta. You've been very curious. Yeah, I mean, you can go on my Instagram and look. I've got stuff I recorded today that I'm gonna post up there as soon as I can. I just like haven't had a chance to edit it. But yeah, this is me doing Puppy Hammer stuff. Well, like right now I'm doing rope dart with my Puppy Hammer, which is a thing because they're both rope props, so it's like transferable. And now I'm in meteor mode, doing meteor mode stuffs. And then I think I don't remember what I do. Thanks for sharing. Charlie would know best. I haven't touched a Puppy Hammer in years. Yeah, Charlie was the one that fit the Puppy Hammer to me. I got to meet the literal creator of the Puppy Hammer. Like I got to meet the guy who like invented the Puppy Hammer this past weekend, which was pretty epic. Getting to learn from him and see him flow. was really awesome. You didn't even know this was a thing until now? So cool. Yeah, it's really cool. Hey there, Amber. Student meets the master. Literally, that is literally what happened. Yeah. I'm there are very few puppy hammer spinners. So it was nice to meet some of them this past weekend. Rosia, thank you so much for the Canadian $5. I really appreciate that. The boss flexing emoji, that's hilarious. Did I train with them on a mountain peak? No, but I should. That's a good idea. Although I've heard some horror stories of like people trying to like juggle clubs on a cliff and they accidentally throw them like off of a cliff. Like that happens for sure. But yeah, thank you Rosia for the super chat. I really appreciate that. It's a cool niche hobby. Yeah, it is cool and niche. I wish it were a little less niche. Like I wish more people did flow arts. I find movement to be very healing and very meditative. So like personally, I think that like finding ways to engage with your body and do movement art and all that stuff, it's like it's really important. Really important for sure. Fred, you're a gross stinky boy. What? Okay, I'm gonna have to get out of here soon. We've got a big flow arts community in Minnesota. Wild how massive it's grown in the past decade. Yeah, Ohio's got a pretty decent flow scene. Like the Midwest in general does. California has a pretty massive flow scene. Minnesota, yeah, was like Georgia. You do too. You learned kung fu, though you're not the best at it. It's fun. That's awesome. There's a lot of people in the flow arts community who have martial arts in their background. So okay. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start wrapping up here. I've just been sort of rambling for a while. I appreciate all the support tonight. I saw a lot of really nice comments that I didn't get to respond directly to, but if you said something nice about my channel or my content, know that there's a good chance that I did see it. And I really appreciate that. It means a lot. It helps me, know that people care and that they are doing, people care and stuff. Next, we're getting you to go to Burning Man, go join a fire conclave troop and audition for the largest fire performance in the US. I know we've talked about it before, Grace, but like, I've never been to a burn. Like I've only been to flow art festivals. And I just don't know. I don't know if the burner community is like for me. Like, I don't know if I'll be totally honest with you. I've heard stories about Burning Man and people's experiences at Burning Man, and it just sounds way too chaotic for me. Like way too chaotic for me. I like that flow arts festivals have structure. They've got the workshops during the day. They've got like the gala and then the fire circle and everything. Like I like the structure. I like the chill vibes. I just don't know how I feel about going to a burn. It just doesn't feel like it would be my vibe. Burning Man leaves a ton of trash that's disgusting. Yeah, like flow arts events are like pack in, pack out. So like we don't leave trash. Like we specifically run clean events with the flow arts community. Hey Leah, Freddie is so cute the way he looks at you. Did you feed him tonight? Yes, I did feed him tonight. Yes. Regionals are where it is at anyways. I've never been to a regional burn. I've never really been interested in it. Again, it just sounds a little more chaotic than I want. And I already don't have enough time to like there are more flow festivals that I would like to go to that I don't go to. And rather than going to burns, I think I would rather just go to more flow fests personally. But that's just a personal thing. You're allowed to like burns and stuff. Whoa. Sorry, my computer's so bright. So bright. Freddy loves me. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Okay, but yeah, I am gonna go ahead and get out of here. I'm sorry that it's a short stream, and I'm sorry that I couldn't stream yesterday, and I'm sorry that I couldn't engage more with chat, but I will be back soon. Have another stream next week. We'll have more videos coming. I honestly don't even know what my next video is going to be about. Freddy reminds you of your old cat Dora. Keeps licking my arm. Yeah, Freddy loves to give kisses. He loves to lick. He loves to groom. Make sure to join the Discord. Yes. So we have a link tree that's pinned in the chat. And if you click that link tree, you will get a variety of social media networks presented to you. I'm going to post it in the chat a bunch. And you click there and you go to the Discord and you do the stuff and the things and whatever. So, yep. All right. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate you all a bunch. I'm going to go clean up some cat shit, and I will catch you all next time. Drink some water, okay? Drink water, okay? Drink it.